And I'm sure innovation is quite a core part of your role within Adobe. What are your major frustrations with the innovation journey that perhaps we're all on, let alone yourself?
Yeah, I think that the hardest part sometimes is how do you sell the ROI of something that might fail? How do you instill the trust and create kind of a failure is okay, the fail fast mindset? And we actually do a lot of that through our experimentation process. We've created spaces in which it is, you should be failing, because if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. And so sometimes when we're starting something new, always the first question, well, what's the ROI? What's the value of this in the end? And sometimes we don't know. We have hypotheses, and we're always, very open about having a hypothesis of what the ROI might be, but ultimately, it might not work. And so there's this aspect of, if it doesn't, what kind of risks are we willing to take? So there's this almost difficulty in how can we map all the possible outcomes of what might occur and try to navigate them the best we can. Because sometimes, especially in real estate, the risks are very large. So we tend to try to take risks within experimentation processes where we're not scaling a huge way yet. We're failing in smaller fashions along the way and letting people know these are experimental spaces, that not everything might work. We want your feedback along the way as we go, and to help us shape the future ultimately.
So just to I suppose focus that in on the actual a very succinct answer. So the frustration being is having to try generally to pin an ROI onto an innovative strategy that wants to be deployed. Is that a fair enough assumption?
Yeah, absolutely. I think ultimately, when we're making investments in something, we want to see that there's some kind of outcome. And so sometimes there isn't always a necessary, the outcome you thought was going to happen. And sometimes the ROI is learning. And so there has to be a little bit of a mindset there that it's a journey, not a destination, and that part of this is